When the Dodge Viper concept car rolled out into the public in 1989, it marked the start of an iconic halo car that would help define the Dodge brand for decades to come. It was meant to be a rebirth of the company, a true halo car to go up against the likes of Corvette and European supercars. It also came at a major turning point in automotive design, straying away from the CAD-designed sharp edges and futuristic styling, and instead going for a curvy, sleek design, calling back to the likes of a Shelby Daytona or Cobra. Not surprising, since Shelby himself was part of the team that shaped the design. It was also crafted from an absolute scrap heap of parts from the Chrysler dumpster fire that was the 80s. Speaking of dumpster fires crafted in the 80s, the Viper became a huge part of my childhood. No other car got me as obsessed with the automotive world more than the Viper. From building model cars, to begging my mom to take me to dealerships when they got them in just so I could glance at them, to loving extremely questionable TV shows that featured the car, or even playing games like Viper Racing, which wasn't questionable at all. That was actually a really good game. But that's enough waxing poetic about dumpster fires. What are we here for today? We're doing another automation Viper build-off. In 2018, we used the brand new Automation to BeamNG exporter and held a competition to build the next gen Viper. It was a lot of fun, and it was pretty much the first time we had extensively messed with the Automation to BeamNG stuff. We got to have a lot of fun driving and testing some cars. It was a great time had by all, but a lot has changed since 2018. For one, automation has gotten way more in depth. No more basic fixtures over a barely morphable shell. You can pretty much make a darn near like 3D model render of a car these days in automation, complete with interiors and just completely fleshed out designs. Also, the future of a next generation Viper is, it's a bit more bleak these days. But man, do I ever want to show off how incredible automation's car building has gotten and how good BeamNG's car driving has gotten. BeamNG has gone from a silly game where you crash cars to one of the best car simulators that's out on the market today. So this time around, we're gonna stick with the Viper, but we're gonna go back in time. Let's imagine a world where instead of making a car to get ready for 1992, let's imagine Chrysler and Dodge needed to have something ready for 1982. What would a Viper look like if it was at the peak of the vaporwave, CAD design, sharp-edged, bleak powertrain, DSM, front-wheel drive Charger, Dodge Omni, Chrysler K-Car madness that was the early 80s. So are you up to the challenge? If you want to enter, there's a link to the Google Drive in the description below. You will need to name your car in automation your desired username as the model. Include in your upload the .car file exported from automation, one screenshot taken from automation, please use the photo mode, and one text document outlining your build as briefly as possible, and I mean briefly. Once you have those 3 files, put them in a folder and put that folder on the drive. Please include all of the files together and have the folder matching your desired username. Failure to do so will mean I can't feature your car. I will be judging and featuring every single car on video. A finalist round of 12 cars will compete for Cone's pick of the top 1982 Viper concept. The cars are going to be judged on these, plus many other considerations. Realism. Does the car look and perform like something that could actually exist in the era? Hero car status. Does it look like something that is going to revitalize the brand and be on posters on kids' walls? Brand connection. Does it look like it's a Dodge? Does it look like a Dodge of the era or where Dodge could be going? Does it have ties to the other companies involved with Chrysler at the time? Does it have something that ties it into the brand? Performance. This meaning many things. If you go back and look at the first Viper build-off, performance meant a lot of different things. And design cohesiveness. It can look like it's built in a shed, but it's got to look like it all works together. At least as well as, the actual Vipers did. I try to keep as up-to-date on mods for automation as possible, and I will be getting your .car files, which means I will be opening them up in automation and exporting them to BeamNG personally. So I need to know that I have all the mods that you are using. If you want to be really sure, use this Delta Ruins Workshop all current mods for 4.27 collection on Steam Workshop. It's the best way to get all of the really good mods available for automation and to make sure that I have them. If you're not sure if I'm going to have them, or if you're really wanting to use something that's not in this pack, you're going to need to include that in your text document. But the surefire way is to use this collection. If there ends up being something you put on your car and I don't have it and it's not represented in your review, there isn't a whole lot I can do about that. If you're new to the game, or maybe you just need a refresher, here's basically how to do the entry. Your name will go right here. This is the model of the car. So right there I have Cone Dodger. That is how I would like to be referred. How you name the trim is up to you, whether you want to call it Concept 82 or you want to try to give it some fancy concept car name like often happens. That's your discretion. Once you are completely satisfied with your car, the first thing you should probably do is save the .car file. So you're going to save the .car, and it's going to tell you exactly where to go to find that .car file. You can just open the folder and it will open it up, and there it is. Then you go ahead and make a copy of that .car file and put it in a folder. Next, you should head to the photo scene and take a good picture of your car, like my wonderful picture here of the three-wheeler. Whatever you want to do in the photo scene is up to you. If you want to go way over the top and you want to do some like extra editing on top of that photo in Photoshop or whatever it is, doesn't really matter to me. I just want it to be what you think is the best representation of your car. You can use any of the features available in the in-game photo studio. The world is your oyster. Just, you know, keep it YouTube friendly, which these days is a disturbingly very child friendly thing, whatever, you know. Then take your photo and open the photo and video folder, and from there you'll take that photo that you just so lovingly took and put it in your folder. And lastly, you're going to open Notepad or whatever text writing program you personally like to use, and you're going to write something about your car. This is my representation of the Dodge Viper concept car of 1982. It's from the future. It's from the future. Okay, so you might want to do a little bit better than I did there, but you know what I mean. So we're gonna save that into that folder as Cone Dodger. And by golly, there we have it. We have a folder with a picture, a .car, and a little text blurb. And then just easy peasy lemon squeezy, once you got the drive link open, slap it in there. And bam, your entry is in. Once it's uploaded, of course. And you just might see that your Google Drive storage is getting really full when you're there. That's okay, these will be nice small files. Well, there you go. That's all you need to know on how to enter the Viper Buildoff competition. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask in the comments below. I will definitely get back to you and have any clarifications on anything to do with it. If you are wondering if what you're doing is going to be allowed or not, don't worry too much. This is a pretty open-ended competition. I really just want to see people's creativity. I'm giving you an entire month to build your cars so that you have all the time in the world to get it as detailed as you want. You can drive it, you can test drive it, you can see how it handles, you can have it be the car that you truly want to represent your idea. If you're nervous at all that you might not have the chops to, you know, make a design that is as monumental as the 92 Viper design was, keep in mind that these are the kind of folks that were in charge of that design.
VR19, our first program car, will be coming from New Mac this afternoon, so I want each of the engineers to take a look at the vehicle, make sure your parts are correct on it.
So yeah, basically, if those nerds can do it, then we can do it, right? Probably not, but we're gonna try, and I look forward to seeing what you come up with. This video is coming out on the 10-year anniversary of me creating any content for YouTube. I couldn't be happier to start out this 10th year with a fun build-off, and I'm really excited to see what you all come up with and really showcase how far BeamNG and automation have come. You get to work. I'll see all of you after February 17th. And we'll start reviewing these cars and picking out the final 12 and crowning the ultimate 1982 Viper concept car. As of now, we're just kind of doing this as a competition for fun, as a little feather in the cap, if you will. Whether or not there's any prize for winners, there could be. Some things might come online, but even if there is, it's going to be just silly, small, unsubstantial things. Mostly, we're just going to do this to have a good time. Thank you all for watching, and happy building!